the day that Biggie ended up getting, the incident with Biggie at the Vibe Party, can you tell me from your perspective what you remember about that day as far as security goes, as far as the death row artist goes? Anything that sounded out of place or anything where were you gonna go to the vibe party? Were anybody in death row gonna go to the vibe party, or what do you remember basically from the day that the Biggie incident happened?
Well, I remember the day was first it was a celebrity basketball game that day. That a popular, I think her name was Diana Steele, and her dude at the time his name was Marvin, and he worked security actually for us, for Death Row, her boyfriend at the time. But they had gave a big celebrity basketball game at Cal State Dominguez, which is in the city of Carsonville, right on the borderline, right by Compton. So we were all there at the celebrity game. Snoop played in it, or maybe the Dog Pound. But I know they were all there, and so I was there. Uh, Matter of fact, I brought one of my daughters. I think it was Brittany. I'm not sure if it was Brittany or Kayla. I had brought to the game with me, and we were there watching the game. And Snoop called me over there. I was like, Reg, because Luke was there. He was like, man, Luke gonna need security tonight because they're going to this vibe party, and we're gonna go to this party, and he gonna be out there in LA. And for some reason, I just got a bad vibe. Snoop kept saying that. Luke needs some security. And so I gave him my number and all of that. He never called. We never hooked up with him. Matter of fact, Snoop ended up backing out, and he didn't even go to the vibe party as well. Just thinking back on it now, I'm not trying to put anything on Snoop. I just always found this suspicious or funny that how Snoop was acting that day as far as security and being out there. But it could have been because of what just had happened to Pop and him being out East Coast or South, being out in LA. He was just being protective of guys that he really cared about. But I remember that happening. I remember seeing Biggie in the parking lot at the game, at the celebrity game. He never came out and went in there. But that's when he always, and I know this for a fact, and even the cops in the Compton cop stories on the first episode, where they talking about when we knew that Biggie had went to the park, to South Park that particular day, because we literally talking about a 10-minute drive away, where knowing them, they were probably just going there to pick up some weed, not to go hang out or be at South Park. They were probably going over there to see some females or pick up some weed. But I know for sure they drove over to South Park that night, because everybody in Compton talked. And, somebody like Biggie going to a park in Compton, that's big news. It gets around. So anybody from Compton know that Biggie went to South Park that particular day and had visited South Park or that area because he was cool with those Southside dudes. It was mainly because of the relationship Von Zip had with the dude named Corey Edwards. And that was really the connection with Biggie and Zip, Von Zip, and all of them, even though Keefe wanted to make it seem like it was him. It was really Corey who was the contact person for Puff and Zip and Biggie and all of them. So anyway, I remember that happening. Nobody from Death Row was scheduled to go. Everybody wanted to say Quick was and this and that. Quick was never signed to Death Row, but by that time, I think Quick wasn't even messing with Death Row or hanging around us like that anymore. So Quick was out there if he was there, like with Theo from the radio station. They were real tight. Theo and Quick were real cool. They had a great relationship. Used to be on the radio all the time with Theo. He was a big radio personality out there at the time that was hot. Other than that, nothing other than like I said, Snoop was really on that security conscience that particular day. So um, I know he had no inside knowledge. Not trying to sit up there and put that out. Snoop did not have any inside knowledge of what was going on. But it was just kind of strange that he had taped that episode with Steve Harvey on the Steve Harvey show with Puff, saying that everything was good and everybody was good in LA. But he was really, really acting paranoid and strange on that particular day after doing that taping. And so, other than that, I don't remember anything. Anything else that was outrageous or outstanding. And no, there was no death row artist. They wasn't fucking with us like that. And we didn't have, and Suge was the party one. Suge would be the one that wanted to go and be at parties and stuff like that. We didn't have no stars or nothing like that we even want to be there. Other than maybe Danny Boy, but I don't even think Danny had that type of juice at that time to be, to have a security guy to go and accompany him at a vibe party. We didn't have that cachet after that. And quite frankly, nobody really wanted Death Row around during that time because of what had just happened to Pac. And should have just got convicted. Now everybody know he's going to jail now for 9 years, on a 9-year sentence, which if y'all know anything about the judicial system, you don't do, the whole 100% of the time. At the most now it's 85%, but even back then it was only 50%. So that's why he only did like five years on that sentence.
When Snoop did the episode with Puffy for the Steve Harvey show, what was Death Row in particular, if you know, what was Suge's reaction when he either saw it or heard that Snoop had done an episode with Puffy?
Like us, we didn't know, because pretty much by that time Snoop was doing his own thing, and he still had my 2 security guys with him, but I wasn't asking give me a daily report or anything like that. Marcus and Kenneth, he still had them with them. But we didn't know about it. We didn't hear about it. Didn't think anything about it. Sharita wasn't no longer managing him, so whoever was managing probably set that up. So we didn't hear about it until it aired. I didn't go into prison and start talking to Suge until about July or June of '97. That had aired sometime in March, I think. Well, before March. I think it happened before Biggie's death, because I don't think they would have aired it. So it had to come out like February or March, first part of March or February when it aired. Don't know what Suge, I'm sure he heard about it, He didn't have TVs in the county jail and stuff like that. So everything he got, just like now, I think he's pretty much getting second-handed. And when you get stuff second-handed, man, when shit come back to you after just got to a third person or something like that, boy, shit change. Man, stories changing. So how did he get it? I don't know, but I remember us talking about it because, like I said, during those 5.5 years that nigga was sitting in jail, man, we had a lot of conversations. We was able to talk and relive a whole lot of stuff because you had people coming up, things coming up, Russell Poole running around doing stuff, talking, documentaries coming out. And so, you talk about stuff during that time. But the one thing I do remember that his opinion always has been is, I don't know how that nigga think he can start a war he didn't start. Stop a war that he didn't start. It's the only thing I ever heard him say about that situation with Puff. So how can he nobody respects Snoop like that. Snoop ain't got no juice in LA like that. How do he think, it's funny to me, how do he think he can stop a war he didn't start? How was Suge's opinion on that?